and listen to my story about a man named Jed. A poor mountaineer, barely kept his family fed. And then one day he was shooting at some food, and up through the ground come a bubbling crude oil, that is, black gold, Texas tea. Well, the first thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. The kinfolks said, Jed, move away from there. Said, California is the place you ought to be. So they loaded up the truck and they moved to Beverly Hills, that is, swimming pools, movie stars.
The Beverly Hillbillies.
That's all I need, Ellie. Thanks.
Well, can I go along and help you fling papers?
Well, no, Ellie. You see, this is my first day on the route, and I got to make sure that every paper lands right square on the front porch.
Pa, Jethro won't let me go with him.
Well, now, Ellie, this is a boy's first big important job.
Ain't he just a paper boy?
Oh, no, Granny. He's what you call a deputy district circulation chief in charge of home distribution. Well, Jethro, you're a working man now. Make us proud of you.
Always remember a job worth doing is worth two in the bush.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Bye.
Oh, I should have asked him would he be home for noon victuals.
I wouldn't count on it, Granny. Getting a paper up to some of these Beverly Hills houses is a 10-minute walk from the street.
Well, not for Jethro. He's got his papers fixed for long-distance flinging.
What you mean?
Wrapped them around these here big rocks. Well, he can sail them on.
Where do you get these roofing slates?
A whole bunch of them fell off of Mr. Drysdale's roof.
By themselves?
Yes, sir. All Jethro done was loosen them.
That'd give a paper a heap of carry, all right. Hope the boy's careful.
Leastways, we know he ain't getting into trouble.
We can hope.
Ain't that Gloria Swanson?
Appears to be.
I'm gonna cut that out from my scrapbook.
Granny, you must have 400 pictures of Gloria Swanson.
Well, she's my favorite movie star. What's it say about her?
Says here they're gonna demolish her home.
What are they doing that for?
Well, according to this, they're gonna turn her estate into a golf course.
For that they're turning Gloria Swanson out of her house?
Not only out of her house, but clean out of town. Says here she's going back east to live.
You mean she ain't gonna make no more pictures with Wally Reed?
Kinda looks that way.
Well, without Gloria Swanson's pictures, the movie theater back home will close up. What could have struck her down at the peak of her career?
Well, let's ask Jethro when he gets home.
Jethro?
Yeah, he ought to know. He's a newspaper man now.
Good morning, Chief.
Miss Hathaway, have you let it slip out that I'm behind this golf course deal?
Oh, certainly not. Why do you ask?
Somebody threw this through my window this morning with a rock inside.
Mr. Drysdale's office? Who's calling, please? What? One moment. Chief, there's a Mr. Miller on the phone who says he's associated with you in the golf course venture.
Hello, Jack. How's it going? What? This morning? I'll call you back.
Chief, what is it?
The same thing happened to him. This paper, tied around a rock, through the wall of his bedroom.
Apparently you've angered one of Miss Swanson's loyal fans. There has never been a movie star so idolized. She's a living legend.
I'm not hurting Gloria Swanson. She wants to move out of that huge mansion.
Yes, but to millions of her fans, you're demolishing a shrine. And then to read that all of her priceless possessions are to be sold at auction.
That's her idea, too.
Yes, but you can see how it might set off an eccentric fan.
You think her fans are eccentric? What do you think Miss Swanson intends to do with the money?
What?
Donate it to the Actors Relief Fund. She's giving it away. How's that for having a screw loose?
I think it's a magnificent gesture.
When she could put it in my bank and collect interest? What kind of sickness is this? What's happening to our moral values?
Chief, Miss Swanson is a very wealthy woman. She doesn't need the money.
What are you, some kind of radical? If you want to do something, call the police. Let them find out who's throwing rocks at us. Good guys.
Well, I got all the papers delivered. Got this extra left over.
Well, thank you, Jethro. We got one.
Okay. Well, you can stop worrying about pruning that eucalyptus tree. I see you're reading about Gloria Swanson. She's on my paper route.
She is.
Yeah.
She lives around here, does she?
Mm-hmm. If she had logs, we could call them.
Did you see her?
But pretty near. Took the paper up to give it to her in person, but she was too busy. They was getting ready for auction.
Auction?
Yeah, it tells all about it in the papers. They's fixing to sell off everything on the place.
Well, Granny, I didn't want to read you that part because I know how it gloomed you up back home when the sheriff put some poor soul's belongings under the hammer.
Think that this could happen to Gloria Swanson? One day she's queen in the movies, and the next day they're throwing her out in the street.
Granny's always felt special close to Gloria Swanson.
We's look-alikes, you know.
You and Gloria Swanson look alike.
If I've heard it once, I've heard it 100 times.
Is she kidding, Uncle Jed?
Oh, I've heard it 100 times myself. Of course, it was always Granny that said it.
Come on, Jed.
Where you going, Granny?
To Gloria Swanson's house to hold off the sheriff. Ain't nobody gonna push around my look-alike.
That makes 101. Hold on there. Ellie Mae, fetch your Granny back in here.
Yes, sir, Pa.
Put me down! Jed, are you gonna turn your back on Gloria Swanson just when she needs us?
Of course not, but we ain't gonna go charging up there like a bunch of bounty hunters. Now, everybody get in your Sunday best. So when Miss Swanson sees us, she'll know we're Beverly Hills neighbors. Jethro, you look mighty nice in that stiff collar Granny dug up for you.
It's good for his spirits, too, Jed. He's holding his head up so proud.
It ain't pride, Granny. If I put my head down, this thing will cut my throat.
You reckon Gloria Swanson will ask us to stay for victual?
I hope not. If I try to chew in this thing, I'm gonna do a lot of bleeding.
Don't worry, Jethro. It ain't likely that a woman facing a sheriff's sale would find a time or means to feed strangers.
We ought to be fetching victuals to her. I wish you'd have let me fix that possum like I wanted to.
This wasn't time, Granny. We wouldn't want to be showing up at Gloria Swanson's house with a half-baked possum.
Yonder's her house.
Hot dog, we's gonna see a real for sure movie star.
The greatest, Ellie. The queen herself. The most beautiful, glamorous siren to ever make a movie.
Yes,
We's look-alikes, you know.
102.
This cleans out the library.
All right, fine. Oh, this group has been cataloged, so you can start putting it on the truck.
How about this here chandelier?
Yeah, it goes too. I guess that's about everything except that gold bathtub upstairs.
But I thought Miss Swanson didn't want to sell that.
She doesn't. I'm going to talk her into it. That one tub will bring more at auction than a whole truckload of this stuff.
Oh, howdy, sir. I wonder if we could...
Coming through, please.
Yes, sir. I wonder if we could see Miss Gloria Swanson. We is...
Okay, watch your step.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Look at this.
like a palace.
Yeah, more than twice the size of our place.
Of course it is. This is the home of a movie star.
Yeah. I ain't nothing but a plain, scrubby, old, everyday millionaire.
Hey,
here.
Ain't she beautiful?
She is for a fact.
You notice how our eyes is alike?
Yeah, you both got two.
Come here and sit down and remember where you are.
Just a minute. Who are you people?
We is the Clampetts.
And we is true, loyal friends of Glory Swanson.
You're kidding.
That surprises you, don't it?
Yes, it certainly does.
Looks like everybody but us has turned their backs on her.
She's got lots of friends back in the hills where we come from.
Swell. Oh, okay, fellas, take the sofa.
Hold on! Where are you taking this?
To the auction.
No, quick, young'un! You ain't taking this without us.
All right, fellas, move the chairs first. Now, look here, I'm getting a little fed up with it.
Mister, but couldn't you leave something?
No, sir. Every single thing in this house is going to be auctioned off. All right, fellas, take the sofa. Come on, pick it up.
Put her down.
What is going on? Who are those people?
They're fans of yours from back in the hills somewhere. Oh, and they don't like the idea of your furniture being auctioned off.
How sweet. I'm very touched.
Well, the fellas now get rid of them.
No. Please, I want to talk to them. I'll see you when you come back.
Well, I have to make another trip anyway to pick up the gold bathtub.
Mr. Foley, I want to take that tub back east with me. It'll remind me of those crazy, wonderful 20s.
But I can auction it off for a lot of crazy, wonderful money. Remember, this is for charity.
I'll donate something else. Please let me keep my bathtub.
Nope, I'm afraid not. That tub is going on the auction block.
Young feller, ain't there no limit to you? The lady keep her bathtub.
Now, look here, old-timer.
Foley, you and I'll discuss this when you come back.
All right. But I'm telling you right now, I'm going to get that tub.
Villain.
Come on, fellas.
Do we know one another?
Oh, sure. You're Glory Swanson.
And who are you?
Well, I'm... Clampett. Yeah, that's it, Jed Clampett.
I'm pleased to meet you, Mr. Clampett. And this is your family?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Well, I'm sorry that I can't offer you any refreshments. There's nothing left in the kitchen. They've even taken my stove and my refrigerator.
And now they want your bathtub. Miss Swanson, I just don't know what to say.
I'd like to meet your family. I don't see many fans these days.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Miss Swanson, this here is my kinfolks. My daughter, Ellie.
Howdy. How do you do, Ella?
And my nephew, Jethro.
Howdy.
And this here is Granny. I reckon you ain't got a greater fan in the whole world than her, less'n it's me.
We's look-alikes, you know.
Yes, I can see the resemblance.
Hear that?
Won't you sit down?
Well, thank you, Miss Swanson, but we've took up enough of your time. We'll be moseying home.
Oh, Jed, I want to ask Miss Swanson when she's going to make another picture like Society Scandal.
Oh, Society Scandal. You remember that one?
Yeah, Jed and me seen it twice.
Well, that was a long time ago.
Oh, yes, clean last summer.
You two attended the Silent Film Festival in Venice?
No, ma'am. We seen it at the Bijou Theater back in Bugtussle.
Tussle?
Yes, ma'am.
My cousin Pearl plays by Annie there.
They're still showing my silent films?
You betcha.
Miss Swanson, don't judge the whole country by these fickle Hollywood folks. Back home, you is a queen of the movies. You always have been, and you always will be.
How wonderful.
When are you going to give us some more zingers? Like Gilded Cage, Male and female, manhandle.
I'm afraid I'll never make movies like those again.
I don't see that.
Sure you will.
Oh, take my word for it. That golden era of filmmaking is gone forever.
No.
Now, Granny. Miss Swanson, we'll be running along. Now, you get your feathers up out of the dust. I got a feeling things are gonna change.
Miss Swanson, before we go, can I have a picture of you?
Well, you certainly could, but I'm sorry I don't have any.
Oh, well, how about this one here?
Jethro, put that down.
You can't take her painting.
I wish I could give it to you, but it has to go on the auction block with everything else. The money is badly needed.
I think we best get out of here.
Oh, look at there.
Isn't he precious? How is my beautiful pussycat? Do you know that I used to have 6 of these?
Yes. I bet she wasn't bothered much with mice.
Bye, Miss Swanson.
Goodbye, Miss Swanson.
Oh, goodbye.
Goodbye. It's been so nice visiting with you.
Oh, excuse me, Miss Swanson. I found this in one of your armoires. I'll just catalog it for sale and put it with the rest of the things.
Oh, no. It's the only warm thing I have left. I'll need it for those cold winters ahead.
Well, all right. I guess we have to leave you something.
Did you see that coat?
I reckon that explains what happened to them other 5 cats.
Poor woman.
She's really hard up, ain't she?
She is, for a fact. It's bad enough having to sell her bathtub. But when it comes to skinning her cats for clothes... Doggone it, you got to admire that Gloria Swanson. Hollywood has turned its back on her. They's tearing down her house. Her furniture is going under the hammer. Before long, she won't have a tub to wash in, and she still carries herself like a queen.
What can we do to help her, Paul?
Why don't we just haul off and settle about 10 or 12 million on her?
Oh, Jethro, we don't want to rob her of her pride.
Well, we could go to the auction and buy everything. That wouldn't do no good. The sheriff gets the money.
How come she don't make no more movies?
Well, Jethro, I understand that's the show business. One day you're living high on the hog. Next day you're down to wearing a catskin coat.
Hey, you own a movie studio. You have her make a picture.
Granny, I generally leave all that movie stuff to Mr. Chapman. But it would be nice if she could earn the money she needs.
You tell Mr. Chapman to get a hold of Thomas Meehan or Wally Reed or Rod LaRock and turn out another blockbuster like The Wages of Virtue.
That was a good one, all right. When it played the Bijou, folks was lined up clean back to the livery stable.
Head for the movie studio, Jethro.
I got to go home and change this collar first. This thing's peeling my atoms out.
Ain't got time. That poor woman is down to her last pussycat.
Comes another good cold snap, she'll be wearing him, too. We're looking for Mr. Chapman.
He's on stage 7. First one on your right.
What have you done to your hair?
I touched up the premature gray spot. I'm gonna knock Gloria Swanson right off her $1 million pins. Oh, I'm the chic of our... I've got to make sure she goes for my idea. Drysdale Swanson Enterprises announce Dry Swan Country Club. Okay. Swanson Drysdale Enterprises present Swandale Country Club. You think she'll buy that?
Why not ask her? She's in your office.
Huh? Oh! Miss Dry Swan. Swansdale. Swanson. I'm Elvin Drysdale.
Oh, Mr. Drysdale, you're a much younger man than I expected.
Really? It's a pleasure to meet you. Isn't this smog terrible?
Yes, it gets on everything.
Miss Swanson, we have a little business to discuss. Now, if you'll step over here, I have an artist's conception of how your estate will look as a golf course. Oh. Now, while you're looking at that, I'll read you some estimated profit figures.
Don't tell me he's too busy. This is important.
What's the meaning of this, Chapman?
Those kooky hillbillies. What happened to your hair?
What happened to yours?
Those kooky hillbillies of yours want to make a movie.
So make it.
Without sound?
I don't care if it's without film. Make it.
But those idiots want to star Gloria Swanson. That's the way I feel about it, too. I've heard a lot of crazy ideas in my day, but this is raving madness.
And this is Gloria Swanson.
How do you do?
Gloria Swanson?
Miss Swanson, this is Larry Chapman, head of Mammoth Studios. Until now.
How do you do? Did I hear you say that somebody wanted to make a silent motion picture with me?
It's an eccentric hillbilly family named Clampett.
They've got a lot of millions.
Kind of short on marbles.
I met the Clampetts. I think they're delightful people.
Oh, boy, this is just not my day.
Miss Swanson, I think it's a marvelous idea for you to make a picture for the Clampetts.
Milburn, be practical. Where would you show a silent movie these days?
How about the Bijou Theater in Bug Tussle?
Now, how soon we get in there, Ted? Well, just a couple of minutes, and the first running will be over. Then all you folks can pay you 20 cents and go in.
20 cents?
You see, all the money goes for Miss Swanson's favorite charity, so we doubled the price.
Gloria Swanson really in there in person?
You bet she is, sitting right in the front row. Now, y'all be just as quiet as you can, because Passion's Plaything is coming to what they call the climax.
How's the crowd?
Lined up clean past delivery stable.
It's figured one of the wages of virtue.
It is for a fact.
Gonna be just a little more delayed. Them people in there just won't leave till they see the movie again. While that's going on, Miss Gloria Swanson is gonna autograph a picture for each and every one of you.
Miss Swanson, you're the biggest thing that ever happened to Bug Tussle.
Bug Tussle is the nicest thing that ever happened to me.
Well, now it's it's time to say goodbye to Jed and all his kin. They would like to thank you folks for kindly dropping in. You're all invited back next week to this locality to have a heaping helping of their hospitality. Hillbilly, that is. Set a spell. Take your shoes off. Y'all come back now. Here.
This has been a Filmways presentation.